to support the platform just in case anything like this happens again, you can do it by way of PayPal, Patreon, Cash App, and also by the Anchor. And you can also further support the platform by way of going to the Teespring store or the shoe store that is located in the comment section below.
I've been helping so many people for so many years. I never have helped out so many people for the past 7-8 months. And I remember something, right? Let me tell you something. A couple of months ago, I was helping a cousin get an apartment, right? And now I'm helping somebody else get an apartment. Bro, I was looking at some areas, the way that the prices soar up, the way that the prices soar up, because I'm guessing that even no motherfucking inventory when it comes to homes they're selling right now. Nobody's even trying to sell their fucking homes. So everybody's like, yo, when the interest rate is good, that is high, that's great, because people have to fucking sell their home for less so you could buy a home for less. And it's like, bitch, it doesn't matter if the interest rate is motherfucking high as fuck. And actually, bitch, there's not even inventory. That's one, but that's another shit. Now let's talk about the fact that the fucking rent. I was talking about buying a house. Now I'm going back to rent. Like, how are people surviving? I want to know. Like my family and my friends, they're so grateful to have me. But it's just like, yo, what happened to people that don't have a me? What's going on with the people that don't have a me? Now I just read some shit that like Britain and LA, they're going to start having more blackouts because Britain got to pay double the price when it comes to electricity and LA and shit. And sometimes, one thing that people was coming at me every single time that we saying that something bad in the economy is happening. And people be like, well, you was the one that told people to vote for Joe Biden. But this is the thing, right? After the pandemic, I knew that this shit was going to happen. I knew we was going to have a financial crisis. And the thing about it is that this is not only in America. It's all over the world. All over the world. Like, I went to the Dominican Republic, and shit is expensive out there, too. And this shit is all over the world, bitch. But right now, though, like, this is insane. And I wanna tell y'all that I get it. Don't ever think I'm one of these rich people that don't get it and don't give a fuck. I get it. I care, but I can't do shit about it, bitch. I can't do shit about it. I don't got no positions in the motherfucking government. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Now, this is the one thing that I like about, certain celebrities when they happen to have that moment, right? They'll talk about real world type stuff. Now, some people will state, even I've stated, if you go back in a variety of videos on either this channel or the other channel, I've been one of those people, right, that have stated, yo, the celebrities need to do stuff for us. We built them, yada, 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 this, that, and the third. She brought up a very simple and great point. She states that from the position that she's in, she is going to help the friends and the family that are directly in her line of sight, that are in her life, right? Because that's who realistically she is supposed to look out for and help out. That's the same thing for, in a sense, any other celebrity. If they decide to do something for the community of which they grew up in, that they were a part of, then, that's up to them. It's cool if they do, and, it's cool if they don't, right? It's a bad look, but, like I said, it's cool if they don't. She stated that, her friends and her family have one of her. But then what about for everybody else that doesn't have somebody like her, that's a part of their family circle or whatnot or whatever? Then what? How are people surviving? How are people able to do the things that they're able to do necessarily, every single day? And the main thing that I may sort of showcase is the fact of some of the clips that I found online from some articles. And by later on this year, somewhere during a portion of this year, or maybe it already started, they stated that a lot of people's rent was going to go up, right? Basically like $2,000+, and that's just in certain areas. Now think about what that increase is going to look like, let's say in like New York or California, and other places like that. It's going to look quite ridiculous. And in one of the articles, it stated that the rent was going up due to the fact of a lot of these owners right, who own the buildings or whatever it is. They're increasing the rent to try to catch up on money that they weren't able to necessarily get at a certain point in time. And the main thing that people have to realize is that everything is about profit, especially when it comes to the people who owns, the homes or the residences, wherever we all live, right? It's all about profit at the end of the day. They don't really give a care about you. Some people are living in apartments or whatever else that might have, rodent problems. They might have insect problems. They might have mold problems. They might have everything. They might have leakage, whatever it is. For the people that own it, as long as it is livable and they're able to make some type of money and somebody is willing to live there, that's all that they care about, right? And this is when I've stated before that, for a lot of us, we need to figure out a multitude of ways on how to, instead of drowning so much, we need to figure out a way on how to at least float on the surface. And a lot of us, no matter how much we try, we're pretty much, we're drowning. We're trying to, staple together a couple of torn bills just to, try to make $1. And, some of us can't even do that. And we're just sinking deeper and deeper and deeper. But this is the way that the economy is. But this is the positive aspect, right? There's a multitude of ways out here in order for people to make money. There's a multitude of ways for people to actually survive out here. It just takes people to use, their mind, due diligence, do a little bit of research in order to alleviate certain things. Like you're going to have to sacrifice, right? So let's say if you want to save up some money and instead of you living at the apartment or whatever it is, you just so happen to share rent with a family member. So instead of one person paying like 1,000 or 2,000, like y'all split it up evenly, right? Depending on what it is, right? You split it up evenly so that it's not just one person bearing the brunt of the whole thing, and it also alleviates more money in a sense over time. Let's say if you get paid per week or weekly or per month, whatever it is, that allows a little bit more room for people to start saving money. That extra 500 will add up into 1,000 the next month, and then 1,500 the month after that, 2,000 a month after that, 2,500 after that, 3,000 after. Like I said, it keeps going. And then if you cut out a lot of the stuff that we don't need, we all got subscriptions, HBO, Amazon, um, Uber, or whatever it is. Like whatever we have something that is siphoning money directly off of our account. So add up, a lot of those things and see, how much is being taken directly out of your account, right? Case in point, let me go to the calculator real quick, right? So if we are to just go off of one example, right? Let's say Uber takes about, $10 per month, right? So you do the $10 per month, and then you're going to times that by 12 because there are 12 months in a year. So that comes out to $120 per year that is being taken directly out of your account that you don't get to see, that you don't get to use, nothing like that. This is going towards a whole nother business that is not investing that money back into you. That's going to a whole other individual who is not looking out for your own best interest. That's going to a whole other establishment that is not trying to invest that money so that you can, get dividends or something back in return off of that money. That's money that's just gone. So then add up all the other subscriptions that you basically have and then see how much that is per year. And then add up all of that as a final number to see how much money is basically leaving out of your account per year that you don't get to touch or see. And then from that, figure out what you need to cut so that you can start saving more money and keeping more money so that you can do the things that you need to do in life so that life will start to become a little bit easier. Because once you start to cut off a lot of the things that you don't need, you'll start to have more and more and more and more and more breathing room, right? Which then is going to make life a little bit easier, which then means that the more that you're able to save and the more that you're able to keep, the better and the more things that you're going to be able to afford that are necessities, right? Or maybe things that you want to do that you necessarily couldn't do. right? So, like I said, it comes to a point in time that we all have to take responsibility for our spending habits, lack thereof, on top of the financial literacy, lack thereof. And we have to start taking back our money. We have to start taking back that power so that, we can survive. So that, if a cold winter is coming, we'll be able to, weather through that storm and make it towards, the spring and the summer, right? When things are bountiful, when things are, growing, when everything is moving. Because this is where we are at this moment in time, right? We're about to, we're in a sense already in fall, in a sense, and then we're going to be heading towards that winter. So we got, quite a few months before we can happen to really feel that warmth again, right? That those May showers, those nice summers, and different things of that nature. So we, you know, like I said, my main thing is that I want people to, save money. I want people to figure out the best way possible in order for them to live a better life versus what they are initially living at this moment in time. And always have backup plans, because remember, your job doesn't care about you. I've listed that example about myself a multitude of times. Your job does not care about you. They can sit up there and fire you at any given time. You can, decide to do a brick and mortar job for 4 or 5 years, and they'll be like, hey, we no longer need your services. Or the moment in time that you happen to die, guess what? They already got somebody else warming your seat. Before you're even in the ground, they already got somebody that's there to replace you. They might have 3 to 4 people in line to just replace you. Or they just might have those 3 to 4 people just to replace that one person. So, like I said, you gotta, it comes to that point where you got to manage yourself, and you also got to look out for, your best interest, right? And you have to sacrifice when, things are transpiring. You can't, like I said, you can't keep up with the Joneses. You can't keep up with a lot of these subscriptions and do a lot of these other things. If there's things in life that you really want to do, you have to ask yourself at this point in time, how much are you willing to sacrifice in order to get to the place where you want to be?